Shalom, shalom, family. How y'all doing today? I hope all is well with y'all. Um, First, giving all honor and all glory to the Most High Yahuwah, Aluah, the Eternal King, the Great I Am, the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. Rumamu Yahuwah, Braki Yahuwah to the Yahuwah, Hallelujah Yahuwah. Mm, we're just gonna wing it today, people. We're just gonna wing it today. We're just gonna let the rock just flow wherever comes out. I hope it brings clarity. I hope it brings life. I hope it brings restoration. I hope it brings hope. And I hope it brings deliverance. First, I just want to say I'm grateful and thankful for this opportunity to come to your channel, come to your feed, whoever this reaches. I'm just grateful and thankful that I get to come into your life, just share good news. The good news is that we are here, we are alive. We are grateful and thankful for the small things. We humble ourselves before Yahuwah. We're grateful and thankful, and we surrender to His will and His plan for our lives. You know, some people's journeys are different than others. Some people's journeys are just in the wilderness season. Some people had their wilderness season. Some people had their journey. Some people came out on the other side and some people got their promise. Some people still receiving their promise. Some people just waiting on their promise. Um, just a little background with me. I overcame a lot of things in my life. A lot of things in my life. You know, but my job here now is to move forward with the purpose and the plan that He has for me. And it is to let you know that it's still an empty grave, you know, recovered in the blood of Yahushua HaMashiach, the Son of Man. Um, that we continue to walk by faith, not by sight. Went through a lot of things spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and you can say physically. Like I said, it's still an empty grave. I just continue to trust in the Most High, regardless of my circumstances and my situation. Uh, I've been in the wilderness season, but it seems like my whole life has been a wilderness season for me in some aspects because I had to learn, I had to find out who I truly am, what I really carry. And so I'm just here to speak life into people's and situations. And I just hope that anything I say resonate with you, let you know that you're not alone in this journey, to let you know that we are overcomers and we're not victims of our circumstances. We are more than conquerors for those who love Mashiach, Yahusha. I know there's a lot of people that's going through some things, and there's a lot of people don't have clarity and don't have any understanding on what's going on in their lives. And a lot of people are confused of why things are happening. You know, we are in our last days, brothers and sisters, sons and daughters, and those alike. We are currently experiencing a shift in the atmosphere Um, he is not a man that shall lie. His word doesn't come back void. And yes, he is real. He's real to me. I don't know about some of y'all, but I know he's been good to me. He's been faithful to me because the journey I've been on, it's not for the faint of heart. The road I walked, a lot of people can't walk that road. Only a few, those who walk that narrow path, those who choose righteousness, we walk this path, without humility. And I can tell by my voice, somebody don't want me to talk. But we're going to rebuke that. We're going to bind that. We're going to cast it to the pits of hell. But we're going to continue to move forward. You know, sometimes the Most High allows us to go through life just to build us up. Sometimes He's had to move you out of situations around, move you away from people, certain environments, and not just a physical move. It can be a spiritual move, you know, a mental move, your mindset, the way you think, how you see things, how you receive things, how you internalize things. Sometimes he just had to remove, because sometimes he just breaks us, he just strips us bare, sometimes he just slays us. But in the midst of this, we still had to love on him and trust him and give him our yes, and allow him to work in our life. You know, there's a lot of past traumas that he will bring up to your life to recognize it, and you have to release it. You have to give it to him, allow him to fix it. So there's a lot of things people go through in life, a lot of these curses, your family dynamics has been under and has been ushered down to you. So you wonder why things are happening in your life, as a child, especially those who are called chosen ones, those who have been labeled the black sheep, those who have a spirit, that have a heart, which mirrors the Mashiach. Some of y'all have a heart after Aluah's own heart. You know, you wonder how you love, why you care, why you give, and you don't receive nothing in return, why you've been mishandled, why you've been mistreated, when all you do is just show love and show kindness. You have a spirit that you want to help, you want to see the best in people. You just want to go through things in life, that's pleasing to the Most High. So to the point where you can see the potential, you can see the value in others, but when you operate like that, sometimes we operate out of that, even though it's the kindness of our heart, we go in things and situations and invite things, and we are blinded to the fact that not everybody's for us. Not everybody's for us at all. You know, a lot of people are oppositions. You know, a lot of people are strategically placed in your life for a reason. Um, so that's why we ask for that spirit of discernment. You know, weapons going to form in our lives, especially moving forward. Weapons always going to form, but they ain't going to prosper. You know, sometimes we go through things to build us up, to make us better men and women of the Most High. Sometimes, He chooses a specific people to carry out what His plans is, and sometimes we may not understand it. You know, we have questions like why, what's my purpose, what I'm here for. You know, some of us are just here just to be light in this dark world. This world is so dark. It's so rebellious. It's so wicked. You know, people living in the world. That's why he called us out of the world, to be separate from the world. Even though we in it, that I mean we do what society say do. I mean we do what the world says do, because you already know who's prince over this at the moment. You know, he comes as an angel of light, a malachim of light. You know, he promised you things. You know, he'll come to you, he'll come to your family, he'll come to your friends, your boss, your co-workers, teachers, principals, your relationships, everything just to dim your light, to get you to turn your back on the Creator, because He knows how valuable that you are to the Most High. He knows what we carry. See, I'm gonna hit on something few know. A lot of people either don't know, or they do know, or they just don't care. The house of Yehuda, the true Hebrews of the scriptures, the Yahudim, part of the 12 tribes of YASHAR'AL, the ones that's been sold into slavery because of the generational curses that our ancestors and our forefathers, when they was rebellious, when they was disobedient, because they got out of the will of the Most High by disobeying His statutes, laws, and commandments. You know, we are a set apart nation that He wrote these commandments, laws, and statutes for. But we tend to lose our way. We tend to forget who we are. And this world system was designed to keep us from knowing who we are. Certain nations, certain countries, they stick to that agenda because they don't want us to know who we are. We've been scattered throughout the four corners. I'm talking about the 12 tribes of YASHAR'AL, the Yahudim. You know, the true Hebrews of the scriptures. Even though He created us in His image and His likeness, and on this earth we was already here, but some people don't know who they are because they're too comfortable. You know, a lot of people don't want to hear the truth. The truth is that you are a treasure in the Most High's eye. You are a peculiar people. You are a set apart nation. You are the ones that these scriptures have been talking about. These scriptures are based on the children of YASHAR'AL, the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. It is time for us to wake up, to hear the voice of Yahuwah or Aluah, to stand on kingdom business, to remember of who you are and what you carry, you know. To all my sci-fi people, to all my movie buffs out there, those who don't know, the world you're living in is a fiction world. It's a made-up world. It's a world of illusions and a lot of smokes and mirrors. We are living But most of us is. Most of us not made it out because we already know. But some of y'all are still under illusion, still under a spell because of the generational curses, because of the witchcraft that's been on this earth, that's been in this earth since the beginning of the time when, I'm not going to say the beginning of time, let's say when those fallen Malachims came down here, told secrets. You know, when the Great Rebellion started, when the adversary, the devil, Sabal El Shaitan, wanted to know the secrets of darkness where he can expose the light, meaning the type of light that the Most High, Yahuwah or Aluah, operated out of. He thought things can be better. He wanted to overthrow the Most High. He wanted to sit, he wanted to be above him. You know, he wanted to do things his way. And so he kept slipping into darkness when the Most High did not create him to be that way. And he told him, but he had hope that he would change, but he knew deep down inside he wouldn't. So him and a group of Malachims, you know, they had meetings, you know, and he wanted to overthrow the Most High. So he kept coming to him. So the Most High gave him what he wanted. But before he gave him why he gave him what he wanted, he stripped him out of his title. He stripped him out of his rank. You know, he was the first original light bearer. But his heart grew dark, grew dark, grew dark. He was too prideful. He was too arrogant. He was too selfish. And that's the characteristics that's going on this earth right now. A lot of pride, a lot of ego, a lot of selfishness, you know, a lot of jealousy and envious. He's jealous and envious of humanity, period. He can't get his position back, but he's trying his best to rewrite history, to alter things. So him and his agents, you know, they came down, had sex with the daughters of men, taught secrets and how to do this and do that. And for a while, they were successful. For a matter of fact, throughout centuries and throughout generations, they've been successful with their witchcraft, with their sorcery, with their astral projection, with their narcissistic behaviors, with their read into people's lives and just divination for us for over 400 years because let's clock it. He told us not to do these things, and our people have. Our people was rebellious. Our people dived into witchcraft, into sorcery, into divination, and seeking omens and astral projecting and tarot reading and everything else up under the sun that is a crime against the Most High. Eating unclean things, start worshiping how people outside of the covenant, outside of the promise, outside of the set apart nation, we start practicing and doing the things that we do, which is going on in this world right now. Darkness is on this world, in this world, and it's heavy. And we're in this season where people are celebrating witchcraft. They are sacrificing their children. They are opening up demonic portals. And it's been going on for over 400 years. You know, I set a video on my Facebook channel. Um, which a lot of people speaks on this about Halloween, the festival of Samhain, how they conjure up demons from the spiritual realm. They open up these portals and stuff, and they celebrate these things, and they don't realize they open up portals. Witches and warlocks and wizards. They seeking omens. They dabble up in the spiritual realm. They open up these portals. When they do that, they let loose these demons on this earth. That's why people are acting weird and strange for us that know. But most of the people, they still are asleep. Most of y'all are still asleep because y'all can't see it. Maybe it's not meant for y'all to see it right now. But once you cry out to the Creator, once you surrender and submit to Him and ask Him the right questions, when you're really serious about your walk and your journey with the Most High, He will reveal, He will open up your eyes and you will see. But I don't know if a lot of people is ready to see, because once you see, you can't unsee it. You know, there's there's two movies that I like, and they kind of coincide with each other. And the Matrix series, and there's a movie in the 80s called They Live. They kind of coincide with each other. If you like in the Matrix, the Agent Smith, the people that are low vibrational are the ones that have a rebellious spirit inside of them. You know, there's an entity, that's a spirit inside of them that causes people just to be rebellious to the point where there's a other spirit that's in them that lies dormant, a demonic spirit in them, and it lives inside of people. You got people that are walking around here that's hiding behind their mask, hiding behind what they truly are into. You know, there's a dark side about them. See, light and dark can't coexist. See, when you walk in the light, it irritates these demons. They can't take on that light, so they had to cover their eyes. The eyes are the windows of the soul. The eyes are to the windows of the soul. So when you have people that walk in the light, that are chosen, that are called, that scattered, you know, in the 12 tribes that scattered on this earth. No matter where we at on this earth, we walk in this path, it irritates these demons. And they know it and they sense it because the light, the calling on your life has a certain type of smell that these people, these demons that's inside these people, they recognize the smell. Um, but only a certain group of people that carry this inside of them, you know, and we are on a journey where we're awakening. We're learning how to do things in the spiritual realm as well as the natural realm. And it threatens this world system. See, the world system wants you to depend on them. This is how they operate. This is how they rose to power. And it's not just a certain race of people, it's in all people. You know, when these people don't sold their soul to the devil, they operate in these cliques, these sects, these covens, you know, these secret societies, this world system, the government systems of the world, they operate out of a rebellious spirit because they do not operate in the will of the Most High, which is Yahuwah or Aluah. They do not believe they are anti-Mashiach. They don't worship the Most High, because they carry all the characteristics of their master, which is El Shaitan, the devil, Sabal. You know, he come as an angel of light to kill, steal, and destroy. You know, but our people, we've been the butt of a joke for far too long. This is what this world system does. This world system um, operate on deception and lies and manipulation, and it keeps us from knowing who we are. It's designed to destroy us, to keep us from knowing who we are. But they can't completely destroy us, because how will they survive? Really, how will they survive when we are the true original people on this earth? They need us because we are that light that's in us. And some people don't realize how powerful we are, because we are a mighty nation under Yahuwah. Once we come into agreement, once we stop playing these games and come out this world system and depend on Yahuwah or Aluah, yeah, we got people that's in positions that are operating. He has his agents, he has his malakims, he has his people in all positions throughout entertainment, business, um, platforms. He has his people everywhere. You know, and their people are doing it the right way. Then you have your adversary that has his people in these positions, in these political arenas, in these banking systems, you know, in the church, in politics, in the judicial system, in these courts, these lawyers, these doctors, I mean, these professors, teachers, I mean, you name it, they're everywhere. So a lot they walks amongst us. They walks amongst us. A lot of people don't notice, but they control the scenes. They don't want to lose their power, so they try to hide behind a mask. And you see a lot of people that's walking around here with their eyes covered, because the light that we carry irritates their demons. So they hide behind their mask. They are really keeping secrets. They don't want people to know. Certain people know, certain people don't know. And I'm not saying just a certain groups of people. It's they and all people. Let's clock it. You know, they all in agreement that they want to see the will of their master be fulfilled, which is try to destroy the light the best way they can, but they will not. They will never succeed. So their main objective is to get people to conform, which is a lot of people are conforming, which is a lot of people are selling their soul. They're buying into this system, this world system, this government system. They're depending on them to provide for them. So they come in, they recruit. They recruit. That's what Satan does. He recruits. He recruits people. People sell their soul. He knows how to tap into people and families and situations. He knows how to manipulate. Not very narcissistic, you know, tearing down strongholds and tearing down family dynamics, you know, to keep us blind to who we are. And our people suffer from a lack of knowledge, because he tells us in scriptures about marrying strange wives, practicing what they practice and believing what they believe in. A lot of people They want to make it in this world, and they go about it the wrong way. You know, get rich quick. You know, people are suffering on this earth, and there's going to be a time where people are not going to figure out how to do this, how they're going to make it. And I'm here to tell y'all, I know I pour into a lot of people. You know, I do it because I care. I do it because I love. I do it because I don't want nobody to fall, especially our people. We, for too long, we've been killing each other. We've been hating each other because of the curse of the generational curse, because of the spell that's been placed in our community, it's been placed in our lives. You know, we put ourselves to we subject ourselves to anything. What we watch, what we hear, what we put in our body, you know, the drugs, the alcohol, the the rebellious natures, the porn, the fornication, the lust, the envy, the jealous, the that crab in the barrel mentality, basically just the characteristics of the adversary. You know, we do so much better when we recognize it. When we recognize it in our homes, you know, our parents, our grandparents, our aunties, our uncles, our cousins, you know, our kids, what we listening to, what we let our kids listen to, how we treat, the things that we're doing in this world that's causing people to be separate from the Most High. Hey, it is what it is, you know, but this is a time for us to really to go within ourselves and really see why we are doing the things that we're doing. Why are we too busy killing each other? Why are we too busy hurting each other, lying on each other, stealing, oppressing each other, looking down on each other? It's because what's in us. It's because what's in these in our vessels, the spirit that we carry, the entity that's in certain people. So, are you ready to really to stand up? Are you really willing to die for the right reasons or the wrong reasons? Meaning, are you really to stand up to hear the truth, to speak the truth, to live the truth? Or are you willing just to fall and just die and accept anything and everything that's coming, that's in this world? People think being loud, being seen, you know, having all the money, all the girls, all the guys, you know, I had the, you know, the loudest car, the biggest beat, the biggest platform, the biggest, you know, I have all the likes in this world. I mean, I can do this, I can do that, you know, and people just doing it for the wrong reasons, you know. Well, I got the biggest house, I got the biggest bank account. I'm out here getting this bag left and right, left and right, left and right. I'm not saying, you know, having money is a bad thing, you know, but when you do it out of negligence and out of stepping over people, accepting bribes, you know, you can be bought, you know, to join them. They promise you this if you just join us, you know. It's like a recruiting thing, like the military, you know, join us, you know, we want you, you know, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not bear false. First of all, thou shalt not have any other mighty ones above the creator, the great I am. He should be number one in your life. Once he's number one in your life, you will seek his face. You will know his characteristics. You will know what he like and what he hates. He loves obedience. He calls us to be obedient to him. And obedience is following his statutes, laws, and commandments. Knowing who you are, speaking truth, standing up for justice, walk that narrow path, live a righteous life, and stop hating on each other, stop killing each other, stop oppressing each other, stop stealing from one another, stop lying. You know, we're supposed to be uplifting one another and loving each other and teaching our children better. But as time goes, people are deceiving and being deceived. It waxes worse and worse. It's before it gets even better, it's going to get a lot worse. And I just said something there that just really just speak to my situation and my story. It gets, it's going to get worse before it gets better. We're going to go through some things. We're going to experience some things. But at the end of the day, let me tell you, ain't nobody's going to see you through. Ain't nobody going to care about you. Ain't nobody going to love you even more than the Most High himself. He didn't create us to be this rebellious people. He didn't create us to hate him. He gave us free will and gave us free choice. See, when we sin, when man sinned, when man was deceived, and man was deceived because the enemy hates us. You know what hate does? Hate destroys lives. Hate is rebellion. Hate is not obedient to the Most High. Hate doesn't, when you hate, that means you don't love yourself. When you're envious and jealous, you don't love yourself. When you worship idols, you put things above the creator. That's idolatry. That's a false worship. You know, you put your trust in things and people and statues, uh, groups and cliques and covens and stuff like that, but you don't put your trust in your belief and your faith and your obedience in the Most High. You know, you pagan worship, you idolize people, you idolize things, but you're not loving on the Creator. You say you love Him. How can you love Him, but you do the opposite? When you love, you don't curse nobody. When you love, you don't speak ill on anybody. You barack them. You test, you see what type of level they on. Even when the people come at you the wrong way, and believe me, I know when people come at you the wrong way, first thing you want to do is when you want to show them like, hey, I'm not the one and not the two. You can't talk to me this way. You know, you run up, I got something for you, and everything else. This is what the enemy wants us to do. We've been doing it to each other for far too long. Because of the deception and the lies and the manipulation, because of the witchcraft, because of the sorcery, because of us being rebellious. We forgot who we are. We are mighty under Yahuwah. We are a set apart nation. We are the remnant. We are chosen. Once we get it together, things will be a lot better for us. I'm not saying we're not going to go through it. So people are going through it. People haven't felt it yet. And I guarantee you right now, and I know for certain, y'all not ready. A lot of people are not ready. A lot of people are going to be crying out. A lot of people are going to be hurting. And a lot of people, and this systems, things are being placed strategically because it was written for things to happen. And a lot of people, those who know, they will never those who know, understand. Those who don't know, they think they're not ready prepared. Like I said, you know, I'm very grateful and I'm very thankful, you know, that I'm alive, that I can speak to you to try to get you to, you know, to show you what's going on this earth. Maybe I'm doing the will of my Father. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm outside His will. Maybe I'm going ahead of Him. I don't know. But what I do know is what I see. And what I do know is what I feel. You know, I see what people don't see. I feel what people don't feel. Certain people, there's a few of us out of everybody that's on this earth right now. There's only a few of us on this earth can see and feel. And everybody's able to see and feel if they choose it. But not everybody's choosing it. Not everybody's too comfortable. I'm not comfortable. You can look me in my eyes and you can tell me. You can look at me and tell that I'm not comfortable. You know, am I tired? Yeah, I'm tired of the nonsense. I'm tired of the deceptions. I'm tired of the lies. I'm tired of our people suffering. I'm tired these people thinking they're mighty ones in our lives. But they panicking. They panicking. I know because I see, and I make it my business to know. He put it on me to know. I had to go through what I had to go through, and I'm still here, and I'm still alive, and I'm not even giving. I'm not even giving. I'm not even going that route. Just know that I'm here. As though they had a chance and they failed, and they still trying. They pissed off. The enemy's mad. But anyway, I'm not here bragging or boasting. I know who I am. I know what I carry. I know what I'm here for. I may not be some people. People may think I'm. People think this. People think that of me. People say this about me. So what? So what? I don't care. People gonna think what they want to think about me. People gonna think what they want to think about you. But if it's true, you're gonna react. If it ain't true, it's nothing to you. Because when it boils down to is that they hate themselves. So when they hate themselves, they want you to hate yourself. So they get around people to make them feel better about themselves. Narcissistic people, low vibrational people. People that got these spirits, these entities up in them. They think that stuff don't stink, but it does. Wickedness has a smell, just like people who walk in righteousness has an odor, has a smell. The calling on your life, the light that shines, that divine light, the essence of the Most High, the essence of Yahushua HaMashiach, the anointing, whatever it is you have on your life, it has a divine odor, it has a divine scent. And those who operate out of wickedness and darkness, they know, they recognize it. The enemy recognize it. Let's clock it where it is. Certain people operate out of darkness. Certain groups, certain cliques, certain covens, certain sects. Um, people just operating out of their master's will. They doing their master's will on this earth. And we, as children of the Most High, we walk a narrow path. We answered the call. He didn't call to qualify, he qualified the call. So a lot of certain people say yes. Certain people decided, to answer that call. Now, he poured his ruach on all flesh, meaning he poured his spirit on all flesh, right? Well, we're gonna clock how we see it. Like I said, I'm gonna go back to this movie reference, The Matrix, and the movie They Live. In the scene in the movie They Live, Roddy Piper and the guy that played Mr. Wallace in Barbershop. Uh, Mr. Wallace, I like you. You got vision. That dude. I can't think of his name, but Roddy Piper's character, he's tumbling on some glasses, and when he looked in the glasses, he can see regular people, then he can see people that's look strange. They look like whatever they look like. They're like skeletons. You can see the eyeballs, you can see their bones, you can see their muscle and everything else. They're not like us. All right. It's clock it. They're not like us. So this guy he was working with and stuff like that, he was like, man, well, I don't know what's going on with you. He's like, man, we're not alone. But when he saw these people, they was hiding in plain sight. Basically, they were just like, they was deceptive. They was Decepticons. You know, they average. You see them every day. You walk around these people every day. You have dinner with them every day. You hang out with them. You go to these sporting events. You go to the movies. They in the movies. You in church. You go to church. These church visits. They worship with you and stuff like that. They in the political arena. They in the judicial system. They your teachers, your professors, your friends, certain family members. Basically, they walks among us. And so when he see these people, he see his friend that he worked with, and he trying to tell him like, man, and dude's like, you crazy. The person that played, Mr. Wallace, that guy, he's like, man, you crazy. So they get in a fist fight. They fight, they doing it out in the alley. He trying to tell him, man, put on these glasses, man. He's like, man, you crazy, you crazy, you crazy. What are you talking about? He said, man, just put on glasses. And when he finally got the best of him, he put them glasses on him. That dude looked up. You can see the signs. The signs said like obey. But when the people that look strange, they can see these signs. So when the guy put on the glasses, he can start seeing this stuff. Then he looked at the people like the police officer and stuff, and he see like they in cops. These people start looking strange to him. So they woke up. They see, they can see this. So they had to wear glasses to see the lies and deceptions, the manipulations, and they can see their ops, their enemies, right? It's like a signal. They had to get to the place where they jammed their signal. When they jammed their signal, then the whole world see. It's like the rest of the world is hiding behind, you're under a veil. You can't see nothing. But those who walk in that narrow path, those who walk in the light, we can see this. We see it. We see it every day. We see the people, the lies and deception. Now, the Matrix series, the Agent Smiths, a lot of people, that's plugged into this world system, which is ran by the devil, right? He has his agents everywhere. And there's a lot of people that works for the devil. They hide amongst us. They walks amongst us. But this time, instead of us wearing the glasses, they are wearing the glasses. These people that works in dark covens, these secret societies, Illuminatis, these Freemasons, these witches, these warlocks, these wizards, these people that's been manipulating this whole system the whole time, that's in control of this world system, this government system. Let's clock it. Like I said, Hollywood is telling on themselves, he's telling these secrets. You hang around with these people. These people are keeping secrets from you. They're not telling you what they're really into. Some of these people are dabbling in this mess, in the occult, in witchcraft, and sorcery and stuff like that. They are coming back into the communities and taking over because of they spell, their manipulations. let's crack it like this. I don't care what you call me. I'm not a racist, but I call it like I see it. Black folks on this earth, you are a battery. You're melanin. You are an energy source. Why do you think people are acting weird? Let's clock it. Hey, I don't care. I'm gonna say I'm called like I said. We're not supposed to be marrying strange wives. Look at Kanye West. Look what happened to him when he hooked up with Kim Kardashian. Let's clock it. Everybody has the right to fall in love with they fall in love with. When you are under a covenant, when you a certain amount, when you a certain people, a certain race, you're supposed to marry within your tribe, right? He warned us about marrying strange wives, and you see, and I'm just using that as an example. He made, but at the end of the day, look what happened. He went crazy, and she's this and that, and everybody's falling in love with him. Hey, it is what it is. See, this is what happened to us. So they are linking in. That's why you got witches and warlocks in all races, in all people, though. But the majority of them, they are linking into us as a people. This is how they survive. They cannot completely wipe us out, but they wipe out the ones they've been destroying the ones that has a calling on their life that's here for a purpose. Like I said, they destroyed our leaders. Let's go back in history. Like, you know, uh, I'm gonna use one. I'm gonna use one that I really like. I grew up. I like his story. I like his purpose was on this earth, and they murdered him. Fred Hampton. Fred Hampton was the type of person that, with the Black Panther Party, let's clock it. You know, we was uplifting each other. We was knowing our rights, and they hated the fact of a black messiah, right? So when you had this person that became powerful within the people, and the one thing about it is they don't want everybody on board. He was getting his people together. He was going to other nations, getting them together, telling them to take care of your communities. And when you take care of your community, let's come together, right? Let's come together, right? And we know what's hurting us. We know what's destroying us, and we know what's destroying you. So, who has control of this system? Who has control of this world system? The enemy does. Your adversary does, right? So when you have people that's awakened, that's conscious, that know what's really going on, when they finally wake up to the truth, there's the vision in everything. That's clocking. Religion, you can't tell me nothing. Man-made religion, man-made theology is distorted the truth. The truth is the matter is JC is the abomination of desolation. When you saying Jesus Christ, you saying hell Zeus. This is what pagans do. Those who know, we know. And the truth will set you free. He goes by one name, and one name alone. That's Yahushua HaMashiach, the true Hebrew name of the scriptures. You got people, destiny thieves, identity thieves. We were true Hebrews of the scriptures. The children of YASHAR'AL, the 12 tribes of Yasharel, the Yahudim, the house of Yehuda. All right, let's clock it though. Get back on track. Malcolm X and everybody else that had power, that had presence, that had a light on them, they had a calling on them. and they felt threatened, and they feel threatened today, even to this day. Why do you think the world is spiraling out of control, y'all? Why do you think what's going on? Because of the darkness, because the enemy is losing his grip. And so what he's doing, he's poisoning the people. He poisons you with the food. He poisons you with the drugs. He poisons you with the alcohol. He poisons you with the music, satanic worship. Everybody is idolizing the devil. People are dabbling in the witchcraft. They selling these books to your children. Is they got your children had access to these books, these witchcraft books, how to dabble in this, how to dabble in that, how to manipulate, how to see in the spiritual realm. So when you dabble in the spiritual realm, you're causing these demons to come in here. Like I said, I've been through a lot, and I'm still here. I'm grateful and I'm thankful that I had to learn these things, because y'all may think it's pride and making it arrogance. No, it's just knowing who I am and knowing what's destined for me. Period. And you can look at my channel. I wouldn't claim nothing if I'm not. It's me being my authentic self. And I hope it reaches the right people. And if you're watching, if you're in tune, I don't care how many people watching it, you know somebody that knows somebody, spread this message. Because we're going to talk that I'm here to put my foot on the enemy's neck. And I'm not letting up, but I'm also here to live my life, to do what he called for me to do, what he created me to be. I went through a lot of stuff. I'm not giving my enemies no clout, no power. I'm just, when you want to learn, you learn. When you want better, you do better. Our people suffer from a lack of knowledge because they got too comfortable. People is too comfortable behind the deceptions and the lies and manipulation. Man-made religion. Uh, Emperor Constantine, the Council of Nicaea, 325, and all this stuff. How he stated, this is what he stated. If he was caught hanging out with the Hebrews, celebrating the feast days and those days that the Most High have for us to celebrate and worship Him, the Shabbat and everything else, let his soul go down with the devil and all those demons. This is what he said, Emperor Constantine. We have this. You have this. And I'm going to continue to speak on this regardless who likes it or who don't like it. I'm not here to spread hate. I'm here to spread the truth. The truth that they changed the name of the creator. His name is Yahuwah or Aluah or Elohim, not G-O-D. When you say G-O-D, that's God, God real. The fallen angel that came down to have sex. That means came down. He deceived Eve in the garden. This is what the other fallen angels came down and had sex with the daughters of men, told these secrets and everything else. How you want to clock it? Now it's time for people to wake up and see what it is. The enemy comes to kill, steal, and destroy. He offers this, he offers that. Those who are doing the will of their master. Everybody has to listen to somebody. Everybody has to follow somebody. For my knowledge and understanding, there was 3 well-known atheists on their deathbed. They finally confessed there is a creator. But they knew their soul was going down to hell. Man-made religion, that's the one thing the enemy did. Started man-made religion, started division. The Mashiach was hung, died on the stake, not on the cross. When you said Lord, you calling on Baal. Still got Baal worshipers. When you say bless, back in those days, when you say blessed, basically you were sprinkling blood on altars, on sacrifices and stuff like that. The words was Baruch, Baraku, ancient Hebrew text. This is what we spoke before we were sold into slavery. Ancient Hebrew, Abarit Dabarim, the original language of the Hebrews, the true Hebrews of the scriptures. So you got people that's identify themselves as us, and the whole world is supporting this. And you see what's going on in the world right now? Hey, hey, you ain't gotta take my word for it. Like I said, I don't know what I'm here for. I'm here to wake up the masses, regardless how it's coming. Hey, I may not know books, scriptures, and verses, but I do know certain things. And if it's my time, it's my time. If it's not, if I gotta wait, I gotta wait. But I tell you one thing, you know why we suffering the way we suffering? Because we're eating unclean things. Let's clock it back. Let's take it back. The fourth book. Yeah, some people know about the first book and the second book of Maccabees, but there's also a third book and there's also a fourth book of Maccabees, right? But I'm speaking on the fourth book on a certain subject, the mother and her 7 sons. And back in that time, a group of people believed in the Most High. They obeyed his statutes, laws, and commandments. They stayed away from unclean things. So the king at that time, a pagan worshiper, a heathen, was killing the Hebrews. But a lot of people did conform. Let's clock it. But you have this mother and her 7 sons. They obeyed the Most High. They stayed away. So he was killing the sons one by one. He was going to spare their lives if they, basically what it was, they didn't eat pork. They didn't eat anything unclean. But they killed them because they refused to eat pork. So he killed them one by one. And they all died for their trust. They died for their obedience to the Most High, their faith, their trust, and their belief. And they was holding on, right? So killed them one by one. So killed all, the mother watched her first 6 kids get killed. Then the seventh one, the king had compassion on them. He's like, man, you done witnessed your siblings get murdered before your eyes, right? All you had to do was just say you denounce the Most High and you convert to eating pork, and I'll spare your life. The dude was shocked. He was shook. The mother looked at him and was like, hey, you dying for what you believe, you dying for your obedience in the Most High is a noble death, basically. He said, man, I'm not going outside the will of the Most High. So they killed him. The mother's left. She watched all her 7 sons get killed. Her 7 sons get killed. King said to her, you don't watch your babies get killed. I'll spare your life if you denounce the Most High and start eating pork, whatever they was into. She's like, nope. She told him he can go do it himself. Like, let me die. I'ma die in my belief. So they killed her. You got people that's out here that's wicked, that's pagan worshipers. I'm in the city, statue. You got these barbecue joints they love. So be it. You got barbecue joints, pork ribs, pulled pork, ham, pork chops, bacon, sausage, chitlins. You have unclean things like shellfish, crab leg, shellfish, lobster, crawfish, everything else. Bottom feeders, cockroaches of the sea, unclean things. You got people that love this stuff. You got Joe's Crab Shack and everything else. Hey, we all operate out of rebellion. You know, why you think there's a lot of high blood pressure and everything else? They pushing this stuff on our people, and our people, this is what happened to us when we got sold into slavery. Let's clock it. Because of our disobedience to the Most High. Not just being, eating unclean things. We did the things that the rest of the world did. That's why he said, be separate from the world. Don't do what the world do. I wrote these statutes, laws, and commandments for y'all for a reason, because I chose y'all. History, they want history to repeat itself. They don't want you to know who you are. Now, he put his spirit on all flesh, and there's a lot of people in different nationalities he can speak to anybody. And a lot of people know that too. It ain't just us, but we are the people, we are the set apart nation. And there's going to be a time. But those who know. Those who are prepared, they are prepared. They prepare spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and even physically. But the rest of the world are falling by the wayside. The rest of the world is doing, accepting the world things. What are they doing now? Look at the currency and everything else. People are leaving this country and everything else because they can see what's about to happen. We know what's going to happen. Scripture says it. At the end of the day, too busy people listening to this and listening to that and everything else. I'm here to clock and I'm here to tell you, regardless of what you do and how you're doing it, if you're not, you can say you love the Most High all you want. You can say you doing His will, but if you're doing things that He hates, who you listening to? Are you listening to the enemy that come in as an angel of light and saying it's okay for you to do this when the Most High give you specific instructions what to do and what not to do? And I'm stepping on a lot of toes. I'm putting my foot, like I said, I heard keep your foot on the enemy's neck and don't let up. We're gonna clock it. We're gonna keep our foot on the enemy's neck. Anybody that does tarot reading, that's not the will of the Father. So you may think, since you seeking spirits and everything else, you do a tarot reading, who you listening to? Remember, the devil been around. He was the first thing that was created. Right? He was created. He was the first Malachim. He was the first spirit being that was created, right? So he been around. He know all things. He know all secrets. He know all this stuff. So people that's tarot reading, practitioners, wizards, astral projection, all these things that's operating on the cult, operating, and you think and these people in church too, and you think you listening to the Father, because if you listen to the Father, you know what Scripture says about there's no divination against Yaakov and YASHAR'AL. A witch shall not labor. I suffer not a witch to live. That is detestable. That is a crime against the Most High. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you think or what you say and how you feel. This is what Scripture says. So everybody might fish different, but at the same time, when you fishing different, who you fishing for? Who you listening to? If you listen to the Creator, you don't operate out stuff like that. We don't operate out stuff like that. People accuse us for doing stuff like that. We don't operate like that. Christianity's wrong. We were called the assembly. We was the body of believers. We walk that way. There's a word they call it. I cannot think of it right now, but you get what I'm saying. Those who know know. But I'm just letting y'all know what's going on. A lot of people that's going through some things, they don't realize what's going on. I just gave you a little rundown what's going on in the communities, what's the state of the black people in the state of black people in America. Everybody want their 40 acres in a mule. I don't know why y'all worrying about 40 acres in a mule. I'll be worrying about what the Most High can give you. Instead of worrying about this government system, this world system providing for you when they was always structured for you to not know who you are because they operating out of their master. The biggest deception, you got these world leaders, and some of it's in our people too. They operate out of characteristics of the enemy and stuff like that. They want to push his agenda, and his agenda is being pushed. If y'all really clock it, y'all see what's going on. Y'all really see what's going on. People think evil is good and good is evil. It's like that in the church. You got these pastors raping kids. You got these pastors taking bribes and stuff like that. These mega churches and everything else, they ain't speaking the truth. Some for what's they call it? A form of godliness in them. Like I said, but this is what's going on in the world. This is what's going on in our communities. They are buying back up their properties. They are desperate. They siphoning our energy. They're putting themselves in a position. They got this spell and stuff is working. So they can't get the people that's been through the storm, been through the trenches, that overcame. We still here. They don't work on us no more. So they continue to get anybody and everybody they can to manipulate. And that's what this world system been doing. That's what this government system been doing this whole time. Keeping us blinded, keeping us hating each other. Marijuana smoke. People are rolling up blunts everywhere they go. Marijuana is a universal thing. When they was locking black folks up, giving people harsh sentences for having marijuana. Let's clock it. Now, some of y'all some weed connoisseurs. Y'all butt heads and everything else. Hey, we all people did things that wasn't right. People partied, and people smoked and drank and everything else. Hey, I get it, I understand because hey, I was one too. But when you deal with marijuana was never meant to be smoked. It was never meant to be smoked. It's a herb. It's a herb that you take sparingly. You chop it up. You mix it with your fruits, your vegetables, and your greens when your body was sick, when your body was ailing. Certain things in this earth that's meant for us to heal ourselves along with the Creator. He heals us. It's Yahuwah that heals us. But certain things is like a certain dietary law. Now it's so bad that when you smoking, you're not only clouding your mind, you're opening up these portals to the spiritual realm. It's so bad that when they was locking us up to the point where it's now they making money off of it. Government, they're already selling poison. The pharmaceutical companies, these cigarette companies, these alcohol companies, these gun companies, their main objective to kill you and to destroy you. Now to the point where everybody see they wasn't thinking about their kids, but now we was ones that was targeted, main ones was targeted. Now it's so universal. Everybody's doing it. Everybody's being deceived. Everybody's smoking, and it's so bad. It's chemical warfare. Y'all understand what chemical warfare mean? Poisons, different strands of marijuana, and everybody just smoking and rolling away. Just to the point is, that's like I said, it's a gateway drug. Sooner or later, Sooner or later, things happen. A lot of people say they function off of marijuana. The doctor said, smoke this and this and that. You smoke you a joint today. Yeah, but at the end of the day, you're doing it the wrong way. It's so messed up on this earth right now. People are selling their soul. People are selling their soul. People ain't who they seen they are. These rappers, the actresses and the actresses ain't who they seen they are. Some of them are. Some are legit, and some are fake and phony. Some of them done sold their soul. A lot of these rappers sold their soul. A lot of these comedians sold their soul. I'm called, like I said. I got the authority to say this stuff, but I'm not here on that. I'm here to wake our people up, to get y'all to realize what's really going on. This is what's going on this earth. Your young kids out here being rebellious, idol worshiping, listen to this, listen to that, thinking that they hoes and bees, and they can get any man sleeping with men, women sleeping with women. That is an abomination. That is an error myth against the Most High. Some of them been given over to a reprobate mind, meaning there's no coming back. They already got their reward. And now it's just a matter of time before their life is being cut short and judgment fell upon them, because they're going to have to, there's a physical death and there's a spiritual death. When that's spiritual death, just clock it. That spiritual death, you're going to be looked back over your life. What you do, how you carried yourself. I gave you these instructions. Y'all have a form of godliness. Y'all worship me with your mouths, but your hearts are far from me. If your heart was really in tune with the Creator, they wouldn't be doing the things they're doing on this earth. The alphabet people, these politicians, these priests. You only have one priest. These rabbis. Nobody should be called rabbi. You only have one master. A lot of these bishops and apostles and pastors and reverends, and deacons and deaconess and stuff like that. The Most High used anybody. He used Ruth. He used Queen Esther. He used Judith. He used everybody. He can use anybody he wants to do his will. So if he put his spirit out and if people are called to do this, he said women will prophesy. Young men, old men will dream dreams and have visions. And this is the times that we're living in. Like I said, I don't care who you are. I don't care how much biblical knowledge that you have, that you think you have. You may know everything. You may know, hey, he's a builder of men. He builds prophets and apostles. He chose. These people were chosen. These people were called. And there's a lot of us that's chosen. There's a lot of people who are called. No, he didn't qualify the call. He called. I mean, he didn't call the qualify. He qualified the call. Excuse me for getting that wrong. But at the end of the day, we're gonna clock it. So I'm just here just to let y'all know I'm here. I ain't going nowhere. There's still an empty grave. What they dug a pit for me, and I'm here to speak life into our people and humanity, because we already know what Scripture says, what's going to happen. And they had a chance, and they didn't do it. And like I said, I'm so grateful to the Most High that I chose him. I always believed in him. I always loved him. But we fall short. I had to bear these sins. I had to go through what I had to go through, and I came out on the winning side. So I declare a decree that our people is going to wake up. Our people is going to stop they're going to put these guns down. They're going to put these drugs down. They're going to put this alcohol down. They're going to put this rebellious attitude, this rebellious nature down. They're going to wake up and realize who they are. My dream is for YASHAR'AL to wake up. The 12 tribes of YASHAR'AL, the true Hebrews of the scriptures, to stop doing what they're doing, stop hating each other, and start loving on one another. Excuse me. And tell the enemy what he can do with himself. You know, if you're going to be on the side of the light, you're going to be on the side of the dark. You can't be lukewarm. You can't be lukewarm. You know, my sheep know my voice. My sheep knows my voice. And I have all authority. But I'm on family business. I'm on kingdom business. If it's not packaged right, so what? I don't care what your opinion is. Now, I resonate with people that's doing the will of my Father. You know, my kingdom family. My kingdom family know who you are. You know, I appreciate those who spoke life into me, that encouraged me, that supported me behind the scenes. I know exactly who y'all are, because the Most High put y'all in my life for a reason. And I thank the Most High for that. And I'm really grateful. You know, he slayed me every day, but I still trust him. You know, I walk this journey alone, but I'm never alone. You know, I have the Most High, and I have everything. You know, honoring him means everything to me. You know, doing his will. If I'm doing it right, if I'm doing it wrong, as long as I'm willing to do it, and I say yes to him, I say yes to him every day. A daily surrender, a daily submission, repentance daily. Yeah, I do things that sometimes that gets out of the will of the Father, and I know that. You know, I'm learning as I grow. I'm learning as I grow. And I'm willing, you know, I'm here. You know, only thing we're doing is elevating, raising our conscious level, raising our mind to think kingdom things, kingdom business. The enemy hates it. So what? Touch not my anointing, do my prophets no harm. And those who are walking, those who is going through it, those about to go through it, those who are just now waking up to find out who you really are, what you really call for, and y'all haven't hit these things yet, just know, whatever you do, whatever you do, do not, and I mean do not, turn your back on the Creator. Do not lay down. Do not give in. I don't care what you come up against. We clock it. We understand it. We trust in the Most High. Everything is spiritual. The darkness operates out of the spirit, and we operate in the spirit. There's a difference between those who own it the right way and those who are doing it the wrong way. They've been doing it the wrong way for 401 years. That's why they built this. That's why they built this system off of manipulation, off of oppression, off of tyranny, mass incarceration, genocide with their drugs, with their poison, the Tuskegee experiment, all these things. Redlining, which is the CIA and the FBI and all that stuff. J. Edgar Hoover, you know, how they plant, you know, People selling their own people out for a little pocket change. People rose in power from political power, from murder, bribes, uh, bear false witnessing, casting lots. That means you lying on people and people agree with that lie, but they ain't strong enough to say anything about it. You know, they went along with that lie because they don't like a person. And they knew it was wrong, but they went ahead and did it anyway. Most High clock it. He see everything. He's all seeing. He's all knowing. He knew you before you could see it in your mother's womb. He know your born date and he know your end date. But in between time, what are you doing? What are you doing? Are you living a life that's pleasing him, or are you living a life that's pleasing others and the enemy? That's the biggest difference. That is the biggest difference. Are you pleasing the Most High? Are you doing His will? One thing about me, I'm not to be idolized. I'm not to be worshipped. He's the only one that you need to be worshiping. He's the only one that you'll be putting first in your life. He's the only one you should be really just focused on. Listen to what he has to say for your life. Everybody has a gift. Everybody is made in his image and his likeness. He put his spirit on all flesh. He put his spirit in people. Everybody is uniquely made, fearfully, wonderfully made. He's the Abba of us all, right? He's the Abba of the animals on the land, the creatures in the sea, every creepy crawly thing. The Malachims, the divine council, our ancestors and forefathers. But at the end of the day, everybody's special. Everybody's uniquely made. Everybody has a gift. You won't know what your gift is unless you tap into source and find out what he created you to do. Stop worrying about other people's lives. Stop worrying about if people done left out your life. That he removed people out your life. That he moved you away from people. Stop being jealous and envious of other people. See, people fall by the wayside because they're too busy worrying about what somebody else got, worry about where somebody else is going, and they're not realizing they missing out on their own. They missing out on the favor that the Most High has for them. Period. He said, worry about the business, the bills that pays them. Stop worrying about other people's stuff, other people's life, other people's calling. Everybody has a calling on their life, but people won't know that until they start doing the will of the Father and start figuring out what He has for them. We all could win if we choose to. You have it in you. You have it in you. There's a lot of people that already untapped in. They know what their calling is. They done sought out the Most High. Now it's time to stop being jealous of people. But you know what? People, and I'm not talking to those people that they're already done conformed. Just like the God kid says, call them conformists. A lot of people don't conform to the wills of the enemy, the adversary, the devil, El Satan, Sabal, the fallen one. Some people already done conform. Some people already done sold their soul. I'm not talking to them. I'm talking to the ones that's in between, that's trying to figure out what's going on with me, why I'm going through this, and why things ain't operating. Now it's time for you to tap in. Now it's time for you to tap in to source, the great I am, the Alpha, the Omega, the beginning, the eternal King, Yahuwah or Aluah, or Malay Hebrew, Aramaic, Aluahim. You know, like I said, I'm a Hebrew. My ancestors and my forefathers before me, just like Mashiach, Yahusha himself. True Hebrews don't have a star. There's no Star of David anywhere. Those are for those Jews that call themselves Jews. We were never Jews. We were Hebrews. We was Yahudim. He was Hebrews of the scriptures, the Yahudim, the house of Yehuda, and the 12 tribes of YASHAR'AL. Hebrews of the scriptures. So they can keep that. Let them identify with that. That's them. They the one that got the Star of David. They the one that got that satanic symbol. They the one that one of those things on their head, just like the Catholic people do. Pagan worshipers, Satan worshipers, the synagogue of Satan. That's who they are. And anybody else in the Christian faith and man-made religion, which is the synagogue of Satan. Church can't save you. Your pastor can't save you. He dwells right in here. He dwells right in here. He dwells right in here. The kingdom of the Shamayim is right in here, and you can live it here on earth for the rest of your days. Let's clock it. There ain't no rapture. It ain't no rapture at all. Y'all waiting on this. Y'all waiting on two people in the field. Y'all waiting on two people in the field walking. One gonna disappear and go to heaven. Nope. Nope. That's a lie straight from hell to keep people confused. And a lot of people are waiting. They are waiting. They hoping. And y'all gonna be waiting. Y'all gonna be waiting till I don't know. It ain't gonna happen. There ain't no rapture. There's never no rapture. There was never a rapture. These false preachers, these false teachers, they're lying to you. They are straight, bold-faced liars. They're not telling you the truth. They got all these biblical knowledge, but they don't teach the statutes, laws, and commandments of the Most High. Even the Messiah himself said, those who does the will of my Father. What is the will of the Father? What is his will? To obey him, right? What did he put out? The Levitical laws, the parchments of virtue. We lost our way. Now it's time to y'all got this technology. Y'all see what's going on this earth. The truth is being revealed more and more every day. So what you want to do? You willing to operate out of ignorance and rebellion, or you really do the will of the Father? He gives you free will and free choice. At the end of the day, wherever you bear you wherever decision you make, you stick to that decision. Because once you give your all to the Creator, there's no going back. And once you turn your back on the Creator and sell your soul to the enemy, there's no going back. You don't sign over your rights. I'm letting you know right now. And there's a lot of people in this earth on this earth that sold their rights. And speaking of earth, no man, no spaceship has ever left. No rocket. NASA, synagogue of Satan, the biggest deception in lies. These astronauts doing these wire work. You see what's going on? Keeping people deceived, lying to the people. No person has went into outer space. Only thing who was taken from this earth was Elijah Enoch, the Messiah, Yahushua HaMashiach himself. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Am I right? Am I right? But I know one thing. I know this world has been lying to us. This world been lying to you, been lying to your kids, false hope. A certain group of people. You had to conform to this world to be have certain access to certain things. You had to be in a bloodline to be in a group or a covenant, or you had to commit and sell your soul. And this is what the enemy's been doing. At the end of the day, this is what they've been doing. They've been doing it for over 400 years. That's why we suffer for so long. Now time is up. Our time is up. Our time is up. 1619, 2019 was 400 years. But you know, everybody knew what happened in 2019. COVID, getting vaccines, this and that, whatever. Yeah. A lot of people are doing it. A lot of people got sick. Regardless, if people still got the vaccine, they still lost their lives. Chemical warfare. All these things that's going on this earth and all this stuff. Like I told you, people don't understand it. Now they got their hand in marijuana. The government's running these dispensaries now. They getting rich off of it. Our people going to the area nationalities going to these dispensaries, smoking it up. They taxing off of it. They profiting off of it after they was locking people up, especially us. Especially us. Everybody want to smoke weed and stuff like that. Like I told you, man, weed ain't to be smoked. Weed was never meant to be smoked. They know it, but they got their hand in on it now, right? They profiting off of it now, and they looking at us. Hey, I'm not calling this this. This is what they calling us. They call us. Look at them. Look at these lost people. Look at these lost people. They don't realize what we doing. We don't realize we causing them to destroy themselves on a daily basis. Look at them. Look at their young kids, young college kids going to schools. They're supposed to be in school. College is an institution too that keep you blinded from the fact of what the truth is going on in this world. They got certain curriculums that speak on these things, certain schools. But at the end of the day, you got these people that's operating out of deception and lies and wickedness and stuff like that. I'm gonna clock it. I'm gonna say it, and I'm not afraid to say it. I'm not afraid to say it. I'm not out here for likes. I'm not out here for popularity. I'm not here to seek validation from nobody. I'm just here to do the will of my Father, and that's it. And if it's meant for me to speak on these things, I'm going to speak on these. When he says speak, I'm going to speak. When he say be quiet, be quiet. When he say jump, I'm gonna say how high. Like I said, I trust him with all my life, with all my heart. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful I never turned my back on him. Yeah, I may operate out of foolishness. I may did some wicked things. I may did some things. I may bore the sins of the whole world. But at the end of the day, I'm so glad I said yes to him. I'm so glad I said yes to him. The best move I ever made in my life by surrendering to him. This path ain't easy. Those who know, those who walk that narrow path, we know how hard it is. We know how strenuous it could be. We know how. We look at Job, lost everything. Lost everything. What did he say? Though he slay me, but I will still trust him. I will still love on him. I will still be obedient to him. I will still be faithful. Yep. Look at Daniel. Got lied upon. You know, he didn't do what they did, and they put him in the lion's den. He stayed faithful. He believed. He trusted in the Most High. Look what happened. He made it out, and those went down there. They got tore up, kids and all. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. It was so hot, even the guards got burnt up. They got put in the fire furnace. There was four of them in there. Yahuwah was with them. Not one hair singed. Only thing that was on them that got singed out was the ropes. They didn't come out smelling like smoke. They didn't come out smelling like fire. But they believed and they trusted and they obeyed the Most High. Y'all don't think this stuff is real? Y'all don't think he's real? He's real. He's really real. And he's gonna make, if they don't know, they're gonna know. They're gonna find out. A lot of them already done found out. A lot of them, it was already too late. A lot of them crying right now. They wish they didn't do what they did. But we don't glorify people suffering. I see them suffering. I see how desperate they are on a daily basis. You think they ain't watching me right now? Do you think they ain't listening to me right now? No matter what I speak on, if I speak on this, if I speak on Facebook, I'm speaking. They watching. They've been after me ever since. I even know. I've been going through this I've been fighting ever since I was a kid, a child, not knowing. I didn't find this out. I didn't find out who I was or what I carried till about like a year ago, year and a half ago, almost 2 years. I found out. I was wondering why things was happening to me, why I was going through this thing, why, 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 why. Most High said, enough, enough. That's it. I'm stepping in. Y'all done took it too far. He sat me down. He came to me. He showed me who I was. And he asked me, did I want it? I could have said no. I could have told him, let me think about it. Any other thing I could have said. But the best thing I ever said with him was yes. Even to this day, I'm going to continue to say yes. I don't care who opposes me. His will be done. And I got all authority. I got all authority. I got all authority. Am I going to stumble? I might. Am I going to get it right all the time? Who knows? Only he knows that. But the thing is, I'm willing. I'm willing and I'm able and I'm capable. I bet on myself. I love myself. I love myself more and more every day. No matter how I end my night, I know when I wake up, I know it's a new day. It's a new opportunity. Regardless what anybody think, how they project, y'all can gang up. Y'all can follow me. You can do your best. But at the end of the day, he's not a man that should lie. His word doesn't come back void. And his word said, touch not my anointing, do my prophets no harm. So you know how I do. All praises to the Most High, Yahuwah, Aluah, the great I am, the Alpha and Omega, the great I am, the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. Rumamu, Yahuwah, Braki Yahuwah, to the Yahuwah, Hallelujah, Yahuwah. All praises to the Most High. Thankful and grateful for the opportunity. Brothers and sisters, it's time to wake up. It is time to wake up. And I plow and I petition that this video feed touches the ones that need to be walking up, touches those who are losing their way, they're losing their faith, to hold on, to trust in the Most High, to seek his face, to delight in his presence, to surrender and submit to his will, repent of your sins with your whole heart. But he searches the heart. He searches your heart. And I hope it hits the right people at the right time because our times are short. This time's going fast. People, I don't care if you the richest person, you think you're the richest person on this earth. I don't care if you're a CEO, COO. I don't care if you sleeping on the corner on the street. And believe me, I know about sleeping on corners on the street. I know about sleeping out in the wilderness. I know it all. Continue to trust in the Most High. Continue to give him your yes. Continue to listen to his voice. Even though he's quiet, discern in the spirit. Keep trusting in him. Keep believing in him. Keep walking by faith and not by sight. Sight beyond what I see. Just keep doing it. Just keep doing it. That'll be the best decision you ever make in your life. Especially, especially in this world today. It's rare. It's rare to see people that walk that narrow path. It is rare to see people that's walking in that light when this world is so full of darkness. It is rare to come across people that have people that's been put in your life. You know, when you have people that put in your life that embodies this, you got to cherish these people. You got to make sure they're okay. You got to make sure they're doing what they're supposed to do. Don't discard these people. Don't discard these people. If they walking in obedience to the Most High, these are the type of people that you want in your corner. These are the type of people that you want to do things for because the calling on their life it can impact your life. It can make your life better. But you got people that operate that wants to dim that light. They want people that wants to try to destiny swap and everything else. They want to speak curses. Hey, there's one thing about me. Those who curse, they'll be a curse. These are not my words. These are not my words. These are the words of the Most High. Those who curse, let them be a curse. What you sow on this earth, you shall reap. And this is harvest season time. This is especially the month of October. Ooh, harvest season time. Oh yeah, what you sow on this earth, you're gonna reap. Those who sow on good ground, prepare to reap a harvest. Those who sow on shaky ground and wicked ground, be prepared to reap that harvest too. This is receiving. It's time to receive what the Most High. So those who know, trust and believe. You in waiting, you wait. You wait. I don't care how hard it gets. And believe me, it's hard. It is tough. It is unbearable. You can't see your way through. You don't know how you're gonna make it. You're trying to figure out how you're gonna pay these bills, how you're gonna make sure that your kids eat, all this stuff. Trust in the Most High. Trust in the Most High. That's all you gotta do. That's all you have to do. It's sad. It's sad. But things must take place. Things must take place. Prepare your hearts. Prepare your mind. Prepare your mind. Prepare your heart for whatever comes. You gotta be ready. I love that song. I'm gonna be ready by Yolanda Adams. I like that song because it speaks to my heart, speaks to my spirit. You know, we did everything we wanted to do. You know, one thing about us, he showed us his grace and his mercy and his love for us. And I can only speak on myself and those who walk that path, those apostles, those prophets, those kings, those queens, mighty men and women of the scriptures that walked that narrow path that was obedient to the Most High. I can only speak on those. And those who came out on the other side, you know, they know what it's like. I know what it's like. I just got chills just speaking it, just saying it. You know, yea, do I walk through the valley of shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for He, Yahuwah, is with me. He is my rock. He is my foundation. He is everything to me. Honoring Him means everything to me. I didn't know I was going to be on here this long. What's going on? Almost 2 hours. Hey, like I said, before I even got on here, I said, as I decrease and let the rock just increase, and whatever comes out, it's being led by the Most High. And I know what He's got put in me to say. I'm not telling no tales. I'm not telling no lies. I don't care about the views. I don't care about who I got, how many subscribers I have. I don't care about none of that stuff. I really don't. I just care about speaking the truth, being my authentic self, and waking up the people. That's just my job, is to wake up the people and do the things that He called for me to do, no matter how I start out, no matter how it's put out there. I'm doing what He called for me to do. And I told myself today, I got a confession I gotta make. I went to the Most High last night. I said I was gonna do something. Started out thinking that, and I end up messing up. And then it hit me. I messed up. And then it hit me. You're talking about somebody that was so broke down, and I had to confess and not say this with all sincerity. People are afraid of discipline and correction. I thank Him. I'm grateful for discipline and correction. Whatever punishment He has for me, I deserve it. And I'm grateful for the punishment because that's how much I love Him. Because I mean, when you know you do something wrong, when you know you being disobedient, and when it hits you, and you been told this is what you done wrong, you ain't got no choice but to accept it. So whatever He has for me being disobedient to Him, I deserve it because you be careful of the vows that you make to the Most High because you're going to have to stand on them. You're going to have to stand on them, period. When you mess up, take accountability. You know you messed up. But one thing about Him, He's merciful. He's loving. He understands. He know. He already knew that you was going to do it. But He's going to check your heart. He's going to check your heart and see what's in your heart. Are you truly sorry? Are you truly repentive? And you're going to try to do better? I ain't got no choice. You know, confession is good to the soul. I confess to y'all. I ain't gonna tell y'all what it is. I just know I made. When you make a vow and you don't own up to that vow, and you told them that if you told the Most High, I'm not going to do this. Perfect example. Lot's wife. Lot's wife. He delivered her. Told her not to look back. And what happened when she looked back? Got turned to a pillar of salt. I confess I looked back because it gave the enemy the room. It gave him legal ground. When He removes you from something, when He said don't look back, do not look back. Do not. If He promised you something, if He showed you something, and if He showed you something, He promised you something, and He tell you on the way you can get this and get that, is for you not to look back. Don't look back. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's your mother. I don't care if it's your father. I don't care if it's your brother, your sister, your aunties, your uncles, your cousins. I don't care if it's your wife, your children, your husband, that group you used to run with, that gang, that sorority, that fraternity, that job, that city, or that state, that church. If he tell you not to look back, don't look back. Because the next time he's compassionate, he's merciful. You know, we may fall down several times, but we get back up. But when he opens the door and he opens the window, and if he tells you not to go back and you go back, he'll shut that door and he'll shut that window real quick, and you stuck. So go to the Most High on that. Seek wisdom and seek clarity. If what I'm saying you resonate with you, this message is for you. This message is for you. If you know somebody that's going through something, pass this message along. It may uplift them. It may give them hope, encouragement. Hey, I made it. I'm so glad I made it. I made it through. I made it through. He's been so good to me. He's been so good to me. When I know a lot of people didn't make it, a lot of people didn't make it. I don't even want my enemy to walk a mile in my shoes. A lot of people want the end result, but they ain't willing to go through the storm. A lot of people say they want to go through it, and they jump ship real quick. They found out the hard way. It's not easy. It's not easy being me. It's not easy being me. And I'm gonna tell you something too. It's not easy being you either. It's not easy being you. You went through those peaks, those valleys, those storms, those mountains, and everything else. You went through it, but you're still here. You still got breath. You still have another chance. You still have life, and you still got a lot of fight in you. Signs and noise to every Goliath. Tell that devil what he can do with himself. Tell him to go sit in that corner and sip his little fruit juice. Yeah. Tell him to go sit in that corner and sip his little fruit juice and nurse himself, lick his wounds, whatever the case may be. I don't care how this is coming out. I'm just knowing that I'm only here for a short while. I don't know how long I'm going to be, but as long as I'm here, I'm going to do what he called for me to do. But like I said, I'm not taking no shorts, and I'm not taking no L's. I'm not taking no sob stories and stuff like that. But you have it in you to do it. You have it in you to do it. I understand. I understand completely. I understand the pain. I understand the misery. I understand the heartache. I understand the manipulation. I understand deception. I understand the lies. I understand how people hurt you, lied on you, stole from you, abused you, misused you. I understand it all. You may go through all this stuff, and you may not see no way out. But if you're still here and you still hear my voice, there's always a way out. He is the only way out. He is the only way out. Let him heal your broken heart. Let him fix your heart. Let him fix your heart. Let him do what man can't do. Let him do what alcohol can't do. Let him do what drugs can't do. Let him do what your mother can't do, your father can't do, your brothers, your sisters, your siblings, your aunties, uncles, your cousins. Let them do what your husband can't do or your wife can't do. Your job can't do. Your bank account can't do. Your house can't do. Your car can't do. Your prestige in the community. Let him do it. Allow him to do it. Open up your heart to him. Invest in yourself by surrendering to him. That's the best investment you'll ever make in your life. Like I said earlier, we all have a gift. We all talented. You just gotta know when to tap in and when to. That's it. But on that note, Yahushua Hamashiach is the way, the truth, and the life, and nobody goes to the Father but through him. You know, I declare and decree that we will see each other again, that we will walk and we will stand victorious when it's all said and done. I love y'all, and I will see y'all on the other side. Shalom, shalom.